Hello everyone, hello sir, and my name is Leo Babutan and my topic for today is about literature review. So before we start, these are the things that we are going to know about the literature review. What is literature review and how to organize lit review, and where can we find online examples for our lit review, especially now in pandemic. We can easily access to any libraries or any sources that we can get. So online examples are the best choice for us. Uh, I'm going to share to you reliable website that you can get examples for your literature review. What is a literature review? According to Dana Taylor, Director of Health Sciences Writing Center at University of Toronto, lit review is an account of what has been published on a topic by accredited scholars and researchers. When we say lit review, these are existing information that has been published by scholars. When we say scholars, they are the reliable person that we can get information. Now, another definition here. Lit review are survey scholar articles, books, and other sources. Its purpose is to demonstrate that the writer has critically surveyed relevant literature on the topic in order to convince an intended audience that the topic is worth addressing. So, we are focused when writing our literature review, we are focusing on what we can share to our audience. No? What are the information that we can give to our audience? What are the existing information that we can share to our audience to give them an overview about the research about our topic? No? So what are the purpose of this literature review? The purpose of this literature review is to find out what's already known about the topic. Okay? We're going to find out what is already known. What are the research that already conducted? What are the articles? What are books that already published that contributes to our topic? And next is give reader a critical overview of what you found. No, for our reader, for the reader of our research, we're giving them the overview of our topic. So the next is to find what's missing. So in this part, we're going to look for the missing part of the existing research again. So we're looking for the gaps for their research, especially in this, the time is fast pacing, no? So you have different generations, so from time to time there is a change. So in every research, so we can see that research is I, I'm not concluding, but I think research is an infinite thing for us, because world is never stop changing, no? So if there's any changes, if there is even minimal changes, everything and everyone can make a research about that, no? Next part. A literature review is not, nabubulol ako sa literature review. A lit review na lang. A lit review is not, okay, an annotated bibliography. When we say annotated bibliography, these are just the list of resources. These are just the list of resources that we can gather information. This is not the actual content. This is not the actual topic. No. When we say lit review, you can gather information in maybe an article. You can gather information, not the whole research or existing dissertation or thesis. You cannot get the whole information about your topic in only one book. So when we say annotated bibliography, this is referring to the sources, the list of sources. When we say lit review, you are just getting the information from existing book, but not on the topic for the book. No? Next is a list of seemingly unrelated resources. Unrelated sources. Sorry. When we say list of seemingly unrelated sources, so where we're going to put literature that is not related or do not contribute about our research. Okay. A literary survey containing authors' bio, list of works, summaries of sources, literary survey. When we say literary, it's all about the topic that contribute to your sources, but not this is not about the author. You can organize them, the lit review according to author, but this is not about the author. Background information or explanation of concept. When we say lit review, these are not concept, these are not ideas, just ideas or not concrete ideas. When we say lit review, these are information that already published, na defend na, and there is a proof that the information exists. No, we are not just gathering information from ideas, hypothesis na can't defend the information and really concrete ang information. No? So that is not lit review. When we say lit review, we have the concrete evidence about the information that we gather. That's why we have to state the source, our source for our lit review. Rewriting stages. So before writing our lit review, no, we have to formulate the problem for primary research question. Which topic or field is being examined? What are its component or issues? So we say we already have the title. You have to examine our problem in our title. No, you have to look for the issues of our topic. The next is choose literature. In choosing our literature, we have to find materials relevant to the subject. We have to explore and determine which literature makes a significance and contribution to understanding of the topic. So, very understandable, we have to look for a literature that gives our topic the right information or contribute to for the information that we are going to give for our readers. Next is analyze and interpret. So in this part, in analyzing and interpret the lit review, we're looking for the gaps here, and we're looking for in this part na nadiretong organizing and interpreting our information that we have already gathered. Okay, already here in organizing outlining. This is part of the pre-writing stage. So we can organize and outline our lit review chronologically. When we see chronologically, we organize the lit review from oldest to latest or latest to oldest, depending on your topic. And we can organize our lit review by theme or by idea, no? Trend, theory, major research. And you can also, again, kanina, you can also organize our lit review by author. So organize this author, all of the information, another author, all of the information. In writing your lit review, you have to keep in mind here. In writing our lit review, you have to immediately document and cite sources you took the information from, because sometimes the information only knock once, no? And you can mulimta na dahil nato, yun na. So you have to take advantage and document everything if it's related to our topic. Then bookmark online sources, of course. Bookmark hard copy or use post-it notes. I don't know if relatable for everyone, but I don't usually use post-it notes, or especially now because I'm most on using online sources like that. Note any connection between sources in separate notebooks, electronic file, post-its, and pertinent pages. So in every information that you get, there is always a connection about that. All of the research that you will get, there is always a connection. You have to take note for those information. So next, if information comes from a class lecture or interview or conference, note details immediately. Of course, when we're going to get the information from seminars, classes, interview, wala tayo ko na wala tayo hard copy. So, you have to take note about that, and of course, source na to. You have to take note who said that. Next is the beginning the writing. So, we're going to write now, lit review. This part, we're going to introduce our LR. LR is lit review. We have to define and explain the primary problem. So, in this part, we're going to explain about the topic, about the problem, where we are going to address our problem, maybe, and this is the introduction of your lit review. It's all about the topic. So next is explaining the main conflicts and explaining the time frame. So in this part, we're going to explain the main conflicts about the literature. What are the things that need to improve about the topic? No, it's like um, discovering the gaps of the previous research, and we're going to explain the time frame, the improvement of every research and the connection of every research. We're going to explain it in our lit review. We are already writing our lit review. So for the body of our lit review, we have to use subheading dividing the LR topically, thematically, according to argumentative perspective or according to time period. So we have already explained lately, about the organizing, outlining our lit review. So this is the example of organizing and outlining. We're going to put subheadings. We're going to put subheadings of our lit review so that our readers is dili sila mawala. No? Next is be sure to show relationship between sources, and as I have explained lately, so in every information that you get, there is always a relationship because you are only referring for a specific topic. So we're going to explain it in our LR. Next is we have to discuss sources significant contribution. All of the sources, all of the information that we get, all of the literature that we have, we're going to discuss what are the significance, what are their contribution in our topic. So next is do not develop ideas or use sources that are irrelevant to your research. So understandable siya, no? Why are we going to include ideas that is not related for our lit review? Next is concluding the lit review. Conclusion. So summarize ideas, conflicts, themes, historical or chronological period. In summarizing, we have to summarize or conclude our lit review. Before we end our lit review, we have to summarize. Again, the example is already there. Ideas, conflicts, themes, historical. Then next is point out the gaps. So we already have the sources. We already have the literature. So we are now we have the idea what are the gaps. We are going to conclude there before we end our lit review the gaps of our research. Then next is transition to your next chapter. In this part, in transition to your next chapter, we are going to make the blending. It's like introducing the next chapter in this part. So here we have some examples of the website that we can get our lit reviews. For dual psychology, James Cook University, I don't know if napaba yung gamitan University of West Florida, Google Scholar, Google Scholar is very recommendable. The research of our instructors, our doctors, masters, they are referring to Science Direct. So I think Science Direct is a reliable sources too for our reviews. That's it. That's my topic for today. Thank you so much.